Some of the time, bubble or pop. All of the time, that star goes on. My dad got
And
the furlough.
welcome back to the Winter Fanboys podcast, where we boost the signal of the winter failure who makes the most original Christmas music that no one has ever heard of, and that is a shame. I'm Adam.
And I'm Ben.
I was actually just doing the...
And that's
And today we're talking about the second, whoa, let's...
second track.
Hello. How we
Hi.
doing? We're talking about the second song. This is the third episode. That's why it got me off. This is a Dave song, and it is called Bubbles with a lot of pop. And I'm going to pop it on over to you, Ben, and I'm going to ask you, what are your first impressions of this song?
Yeah. We got Bubbles with Dave. And the first thing that this song kind of hits me with is like, it's groovy. This is a groovy track, you know? Like, it's fun. You kind of want to hang out with it and groove. And it comes on strong like that. The intro to this song, Dave's first few lines, like really, really set a cool tone with his like rhymes when he's using furlough and like brow is gonna furrow. And I like this kind of setting of like this bubble will pop sort of thing. Like, it's Christmas time, but my dad got laid off and now we're not gonna get any presents. And so like the pop of like kind of what to expect for Christmas. I do kind of feel like as the song goes on, like that sort of initial setup, I kind of lose it a little bit as we go on. Like when we're hanging out in the chorus and like later verses, like I don't quite see that story play out, that storyline continue to play out, but maybe I'm kind of just missing it. But that's kind of what I'm seeing as we first get into it. What about you, Adam?
Yeah, very similar stuff. I took some notes and I was like, groovy. The bass line, it's got a little funk to it. The same with the guitars. So he has this like funky low bass, and then he goes up to these like funky high chords. And so I think that's super cool. That's very Dave, I feel like. And yeah, the song, honestly, I like the chorus. I don't really know. We have the lyrics here. I think his verses are pretty, the chorus is what I like this like opposite. I feel like it's opposite, but it's not the rhymes, right? My dad got the furlough. Now we'll get nothing. My brows start to furrow. Cause always felt so loving. But then like he gets to the chorus and it's star goes the top, dress at the bottom, set the lights in, ornaments if you got them. So it's this idea of like dressing a Christmas tree. And I feel like he tells the story of dressing a Christmas tree in such a way that is kind of fun. It goes with that funky way of the song. So that's my initial take on this.
Yeah, along with that, like it's fun, and I'm like Dave's kind of like he does a couple of like harmonies throughout this song where he kind of goes up high and then he sort of drops it down low, kind of with a little bit of this warble he's doing. And I find that really, really pleasing. Like I think that the composition of the song like is great. It's really fun to listen to.
Oh, his pops that he throws in there?
Oh, yeah.
How do you think he made them?
I think it's just his mouth.
Do you think he's actually making them? Yeah.
Something like that.
The pop and the fizz.
Yeah. Well, you got the fizz.
I got the fizz.
No.
Well, my sister has the fizz right now.
Okay. That's what the fizz is. Yeah. So then like moving on with kind of what's going on in this song, I feel like there's kind of like a sad kind of thing. It's like one of these pop songs. It's like when you look at the lyrics, it's actually a sad thing. It's like Lady Gaga being like, just dance. And you're like, oh, this woman is having sort of an emotional breakdown, but just dance. It'll be okay. There's a little bit of that kind of going on as you read the lyrics, that the like fun grooviness of the song is in contrast to kind of that vibes. Yeah. I find I don't connect a whole lot with it as it goes. Like I have a good time with it though.
100%. This song doesn't feel, lyrically, I have a hard time connecting to it. However, musically, I think it's a fun song. I think it's a fun grooving song to listen to. And that actually I feel like that's interesting. It takes precedent over the lyrics.
Totally. Like it feels like a
But
Christmas pop song.
yes. Yep. Yeah.
Uh,
And I don't know if necessarily, knowing Dave, it's probably just that's probably how he wrote it. He
He's
was
probably
like,
just
this isn't.
playing around with it.
He actually was just like, I'm just going to, I take this idea of dressing a Christmas tree. I actually think this is how he did both of his songs. He takes ideas and he makes them into songs that are like, so putting a star on top, putting the skirt at the bottom, and then putting ornaments on a Christmas tree is how you dress a Christmas tree. His next song, Nativity, I feel like he just took another creative way to tell the Jesus's birth story. So I think he's just taking these like creative liberties of like, this isn't a story, right? But he made it into a story of how to dress a Christmas tree and make it funky with this music.
Mm-hmm.
And weirdly enough, I don't think it needs to be any more than that, which is interesting because I feel like that there's always deeper meaning to some of these songs. It's actually most of the Winter Failure. I feel like there might be a handful of songs that have been like, it's just fun to listen to, but this one feels like it's that.
I wonder. I feel you on that. I think my brain is already kind of churning at trying to find what deeper is going on here. I'm like, what is our overarching theme going to be? And often we talk about like our themes being like time and recollection, and we talk about like this being like thinking of Christmases past and thinking of Christmases in the future, and like that kind of stuff tends to pop up as thematic choices throughout the Winter Failure. And so in this one we do have like we have a little bit of disappointment, I guess, from like this Christmas not being the same as the Christmases that have come before, because our dad doesn't have a job, and so we're not going to get as many presents. I do want to read that just aloud the second verse, because that's the one I feel like the first verse I really hear, because it's got that kind of like powerful start. But that second verse I have a harder time tracking. And so it's, where did all the time go? We got out of the trouble. Along the way we caught a black wave to the bubble of a bubble of green leaves, a piece of peace, a bubble of time where we felt some peace.
Yeah, I don't know where that one is going. Are you trying to connect it to the first verse?
I'm not really sure what I'm trying to do here. I just wanted to read it aloud and see what I thought about it. Like where it kind of like what would kind of happen. And I think there might even, like, he texted us the lyrics, and I think there might be a typo in it, because it's like of rain is one of the lines in here.
Yes, there is a typo.
But like a bubble of rain, a bubble of green leaves, of peace, a bubble of time where we felt some peace. And yeah, I don't know. Like I can't help but put it in contrast with Magic, where we have like Magic is like, everything is going to be all right. Like, welcome back to Christmas. And then it's kind of funny that this song comes next, which is like about popping a bubble, which feels to me like when you say like, oh, I'm sorry to burst your bubble. It's like, I'm going to like, knock you down a peg. I'm going to like disappoint you. I'm going to make you like a little sad or something like that. And so it's kind of funny to have these two next to each other.
Well, maybe that's kind of interesting, because I feel like we've talked about how Christmas, can be magical and fun and good for other people, and how Christmas is hard for other people, how Christmas is actually not so joyful and lovey-dovey. We had talked about, I believe on one of the episodes we talked about suicide. We've talked about, and it's definitely hard when you're grieving somebody, right? Because this is a season, I went to a grief community group, and there was a day we talked about the empty chair at the table. And there's that element of like, it's not, that's going to happen at the holidays. What is that? How do we feel with that? How do we process that? And what do we do with that? So maybe it's not. So maybe it is. I feel like we're giving Dave too much credit here if we're like, they did this on purpose.
He's going to tell us to give him credit.
What?
I said he's going to tell us that we're giving him too much credit. I love to give him credit, though. I think that he's got, maybe he's not even aware of how many layers he's got going on.
Maybe he doesn't realize what he just did.
Yeah, that's what I think. I think Dave's got Wimbledon wheels. There's the little man who's inside of Dave's brain is pulling all these levers, and he's like, all right, here we go. And
we're going to go here.
He doesn't know that there's layers of genius happening.
That's what it is. This song coming after Magic is layers of. I like how we're giving Dave the credit though, but Brand could have done it. Like, they're just picking the orders of the songs. It's not.
Well,
Dave
we got,
was
like
like,
I said, we
mine.
got nothing to go off of. We're just
Yeah.
listening to songs. Just listening to tracks.
Yeah. So I actually think, in the grand scheme of this song being next on the EP makes sense.
Yeah.
Then if we're going with the idea of bursting a bubble, the idea of Christmas isn't so joyful, or the idea that, then to me this actually fits in the story of this EP. As opposed to if you just pulled it out by itself.
We're kind of like, we're hitting you with this sort of like, we're bursting your bubble, but we're doing it in a fun, groovy way. We're keeping the energy high, you know, which is a really real thing, you know, when you like, things are not great, but I'm gonna like put on an act, and I'm gonna like engage, and I'm gonna be goofy and all these things while I'm struggling with this or whatever it is. Like that's something that we do.
Yep.
Yeah. And sometimes I think there's a place for that. There's a place for like, I'm going to talk about a sad thing, but I'm going to do so in a fun way, because sometimes it's too hard to do it directly. And so we got to kind of process it. We still have to process it, but we need to kind of have a little distance from it ourselves.
Yeah, that's good. I don't want to say anything else because I don't want to muddy the waters there.
Because it's genius.
It's genius. Because now
it's subconscious Dave genius that's happening.
There's a little man in Dave's brain is also in yours. Comes over to you and he's like, hello.
Right. He gets on a tiny airplane. He flies over to Colorado and he knocks on the door after the Winter Failures released an album, and he crawls into my ear.
Yep. And
like,
he knocks and you open the door and you're like,
I did it. I got an Animorph reference into the podcast. Let's go.
Who?
The Animorphs, Adam.
Oh.
Do you know about the Animorphs? All right.
Yeah, I know about the Animorphs.
Quick aside. We got to talk Animorphs for a second. So the Animorphs were a children's fantasy book series that came out in the early 2000s. And they were about children in the early 2000s, like roughly high school age, who discovered that there was an alien invasion of brain slugs that could crawl into people's ears and take over their brains and pilot them like little robots. And they were gifted a magical power by another kind of alien that looked like a blue deer to be able to touch an animal and then be able to turn into it. And they could turn into that animal for like an hour, I think. And if they didn't turn back within that hour, they could get stuck as that animal. And so there's a clandestine group of juveniles who can turn into animals who are trying to stop a clandestine invasion of brain slugs in like small town USA. And it's called the Animorphs, Adam, and it's important to culture.
Well, I'm glad we went down that little rabbit hole to know about Animorphs.
Yeah,
and actually
there's more Animorphs references in their songs in the future. I'm kind of trying to inspect it in right now.
You're trying to slowly put an Animorph in there.
The song.
I feel like Dave knows what an Animorph.
I feel like there's a pretty good chance Dave knows what an Animorph is. I feel like Brand could know too. So yeah, we'll see.
All right.
All right. To get us back on the rails for 1 second, Adam, what are you most excited about for this Christmas?
Most excited about Hunter's first Christmas.
Of course.
So waking up with Hunter, to him is just another day, but being able to get photos and videos, he doesn't know.
Yeah,
being able to get photos and videos of him I'm going to tell him. I'm going to say, hey, it's Christmas. And he's going to
Have you already started layering in the Santa stuff? Have you been like, hey, Santa is real?
Kind of. But we don't say Santa is real. I literally had him on there.
Just like whisper that in his ear. Like, he's in the crib.
I'm like, and then he's like, I haven't done that, but we were standing in line and I said, he's going to believe in Santa. Wonder how long he'll believe in Santa. And I'm like just openly talking about it. And I think at one point I went, earmuffs.
And you're like, oh no.
Oh no, he's going to know. He's like, that one time when I was 4 months, I knew that Santa wasn't real.
Oh, I was thinking of like the other children who are around you in the line where they're like,
oh no. I was surprisingly, I was surrounded by a bunch of adults. Like I said, a lot of people go and get their picture with Santa by themselves as couples. They're full grown adults. And I said, okay, I wouldn't do that, but
yeah, I feel bad for Santa in that case. I feel
Santa's
like Santa
big letdown.
You know, is he okay?
I mean, I also kind of feel bad when you like, not bad, but when you show up with like a 4-month-old, it's not like Santa's like, oh, talking to him is like, it's first Christmas, saying all this stuff. And then I'm like, he's not going to talk back to you. You know that, right? He's kind of just surprised. He's not going to say like,
they don't know that, Adam.
he's Santa's unaware. I have to tell him.
Yeah.
I have to be like, hey.
Why is this small child not saying anything? Your son is broken. He just gurgles. He hasn't said a single thing to me about Socrates yet. So something wrong with your boy.
All right. So anyway, what are you looking forward to for Christmas this year?
I'm really looking forward to family coming to town, and getting to spend time with my nieces and nephews, and getting to introduce like Natasha to more of the family. I think that'll be really fun. So I'm looking forward to all that. I love getting everybody together and the chaos that ensues. That's really good for my spirit, is to see what happens when everyone's together. So I'm really looking forward to that. Yeah. So hopefully my bubble doesn't pop in regards to that.
No bubble pop.
That's right.
All right. Well, with that being said, I'm Adam.
I'm Ben, and stay frosty, my friends.
Yeah.
I got the furlough, so now we'll get nothing. My brow started to furrow, 'cause it always felt so loving. Till the bubble of light, snow goes, and the bubble of good weather's gone. As star goes on top, dress on the bottom, set the lights and ornaments if you've